Welcome to our YouTube video on graphing linear equations, part 1. What I'd like you to do is take a moment, try to graph these 4 equations on your sheet of paper if you would. In the first equation, in each graph that we have, the 2 key things are the y-intercept and the slope. Well, in slope-intercept form, our y-intercept is the number that's at the end. So we have -4. The y-intercept is -4. The number in front of the x is our slope. Now we just have a 2. 2 is the same thing as 2/1. Since it's a positive 2, we're going to go up to 1 to the right. And we can continue with that pattern of up to 1 to the right, up to 1 to the right. And as we continue that, we have our points. Once we get to that point there, we are able to graph our line by connecting them, and the line would extend in both directions because there's an infinite number of ordered pairs that would solve this equation, but that's what your first graph would look like right there. In the second one, we have a y-intercept of 1. So we put a dot at 1 on the y-axis. The slope is positive 2/3. Up to over 3, up to over 3, which is the same thing as down 2 and 3 the other way, down 2 and 3 as well. And once again, there's an infinite number of solutions that would work. And once we have those points on the grid, we can take our line, connect them. In any of those ordered pairs, we could put them into the equation. The easiest point to put in is this point right here, which is 0, 1. Well, if I take 2/3, the coordinate here is 0, 1, and x of 0, of y of 1. If I go down to this equation and replace the x with a 0, well, 2/3 of 0, or 2/3 of nothing is nothing, plus 1 is 1. And then I bring the y and put it on the other side, which is 1. I do get 1 is equal to 1. And that's how we can check to see if that is a solution. In the second set of ordered pairs, going down to the bottom, our first equation we have is a y-intercept of -1. The slope is just x. Well, x is the same thing as 1x, and 1 is the same thing as 1/1. So with that, I now know my slope is positive 1/1. Up 1/1, up 1/1, and I can continue that process. It's the same thing as down 1 and 1 the other way. Once again, it would go for infinity in both directions. And when I connect these points, I'm going to do a graph that looks like that. In my last equation, if you notice, there is no y-intercept. Well, as we take a look, a y-intercept, what number could I put after the -3x? That would not change the value. And the answer is 0. Well, my y-intercept is 0. My slope is -3, which is the same thing as -3/1. I'm going to go down 3, because it's -3, down 3, 1 to the right, down 3, 1 to the right. Same thing as up 3 and 1, up 3 and 1. And when I get those points, I take, connect them, and I have, let's try that line again. The solution right there. Thank you very much. And there's our first video on graphing linear equations.